What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've made my way down to Lake Norman Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram, and we're going to take a look at this 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee High Altitude. Huge thanks to them for providing this vehicle for me today. All of their contact information will be in the description below. They have a massive selection of inventory, so definitely check them out. This model is finished off in diamond black crystal, and it has an MSRP just over $54,000. Under the hood is a 3.6 liter V6, and this is only paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine produces 295 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 260 pound-feet of torque at 4,800 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive with the optional four-wheel drive engagement, weighs around 5,200 pounds, 0 to 60 can happen in around 6.5 seconds, and with a fuel capacity of 24.6 gallons, you can expect to see 14 miles per gallon in the city and 22 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 114.8 inches. It has an overall length of 189.8 inches. The width is 76.5. It has a height of 69.3 inches, and ground clearance is at 11.1 inches. This also has an approach angle of 36 degrees. The breakover angle is 23 degrees, and its departure angle is 27 degrees. Starting up front with a traditional Jeep style grille, it features the 7 vertical slots. All the mesh is finished off in gloss black with a nice gray trim piece surrounding it. This has bi-xenon headlights with LED daytime running lights, along with the turn signals, which have a nice C-shaped design to them. In the middle section of the bumper, you can see the LED fog lights, along with 6 parking sensors. And then down in the middle section of the bumper is a forward-facing sensor that's part of the adaptive cruise control system. In the lower section of the bumper, you can see cutouts in the mesh to provide more cooling to the engine. And then as we make our way up to the hood, it features very clean lines running throughout. Moving to the side, this model has the 20 by 8 inch platinum aluminum wheels with a nice 5 double spoke design to them. 4-wheel disc brakes are in all 4 corners. The body colored side mirrors feature the integrated turn signal along with a dome light underneath each one. There's gloss black trim around all of the windows, very nice body lines running through the middle section of the door along with just underneath the door handles. And as we make our way to the roof, it does feature a sunroof. And finishing up in the rear with the body-colored spoiler and integrated third brake light. This has LED taillights, so you can see more of the gray trim in the lower section of them, along with underneath the tailgate and in the lower section of the bumper. There's a standard backup camera with 6 parking sensors, a power liftgate. This has a towing capacity up to 7,200 pounds, and down in the lower section of the bumper is the dual exhaust, finished off in more of the gray trim. So that's going to finish up with the exterior walk around on the 2019 Grand Cherokee High Altitude. This is the first time that I've checked out this specific model. I really like it. On the outside you have nice gunmetal finishes on the wheels, and you saw the trim on the front and the back. This also has skid plates all around. There's one up underneath, you have one in the rear at the same time. So a really nice overall exterior profile. But now with the key, we'll go ahead and check out the interior. This does have remote start, so as long as the vehicle is locked, you can double tap on that button, it will automatically start up. And then if you just double tap on that again, it will shut off. Very cool to see that feature. And then again, with it locked, as long as I have the key on me, I'll just place my hand on the door handle and it will automatically unlock. Taking a look at the door panel now, if we start on the top section, you'll see a nice wood trim piece along with a chrome trim running across the entire top. It's on the release handle, you have piano black running around that. Looking at all of the window controls, these are automatic up and down. You have all of your power mirror adjustments as well. This features a 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Right in the middle of the door is some more seat memory adjustments, and then you have leather and stitching running on the armrest. Has a really nice feel to it. And then down below you have a cup holder and some more storage space. Moving inside now, we'll take a look at the black leather seats. These are heated and ventilated, have good bolstering support to them. You can see the stitching running down them as well. They have a multiple way adjustment along with 4-way power lumbar support. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. It has black stitching running throughout the middle of it, along with more of that gray trim, giving it a really nice look. On the right side, we have all of your standard cruise control buttons on the top with your adaptive cruise on the bottom. On the left side, you have your Bluetooth controls, and all of these will control the center screen, which I'll get to here shortly. On the back side of the steering wheel, there's some more hands-free controls on each side, and these will control things like the volume and changing the radio. So looking at the gauge cluster now, you'll see on the left side is the tach. On the right side, you have your engine temperature and fuel gauge, along with your gear selection. And then right in the center is the digital screen. So using those buttons on the left side of the steering wheel, we can look at your miles per hour, along with a digital readout of the speedometer. If we scroll down, we can look at your oil life, along with your battery voltage. You have your tire pressure and other vital information. We can scroll down to all of the adaptive cruise and lane keeping assist features. being able to turn those on and off. You have your average MPG, and there's 2 separate screens for that, along with your trip distance, so you have trip A and trip B. You have your start-stop feature, along with your satellite radio, and then any messages you'd like to look at. You have a setup screen, so going into that, you can control where you want everything to show up. So the upper left, I can have the compass shown, or I can change that and have trip A or trip B. You can pretty much do that with every corner. So if you want to see what current gear you're in, you can activate that and it will automatically show you that. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have the fuel cap release, along with all of the controls for the headlights and fog lights. You have more of that trim around one air vent, has a really nice look to it. Leather covers the entire dash. You can see all the stitching along with a speaker up in the top section. And then right in the center is the 8.4-inch touchscreen navigation screen. So this screen is very easy to go through. On the bottom, basically you have all of your presets. These are configurable, which I will show you here soon. But right now it's showing radio on the far left. You have your media. Going into climate control settings, this does have a dual zone climate, so you can control driver and passenger. This has a heated steering wheel, so you can use that along with the heated and ventilated seats. We can go ahead and pull up the backup camera. So you see the lines on there, they do turn with the steering wheel as well. You can just click on the X on the top to go back to your normal screen here. You can sync both of these settings together. You have your fan speed right in the center. You can either tap on the fan itself or the actual number, which is very easy to use. And then you have off on the far left. On the top here, you have some more AC controls like your recirc, your auto, max AC, things like that. We move over to the apps button. You have a lot more to look at. With your Wi-Fi, you have your heated and ventilated seat controls again, notifications, and we can scroll over. You can see your navigation and things like that. So if there is something that you'd like to look at, let's say you want to take this off-road a lot, you have your off-road pages. If you just hold on this, you can drag and drop it and put it on the bottom there. That way you have an easy shortcut to it. So if it's something, again, you go into a lot, you can see on this setting here, we have the steering angle. So as I turn the steering wheel, you will see the degrees change. So that way you know exactly where the wheels are at all times while you're off-road. You can click into suspension. This does have an adaptive suspension system, so you can see there are different levels depending on what setting that you're in. You have your pitch and roll meter, which is very helpful to see. You have some other vital information that you need to be aware of, and you do have your select terrain adjustability, and I'll show you how to change to that here soon. Over on the far right, you have your navigation, so we can pull up that map full screen, and then you have the phone on the far right. On the left side, you have another air vent along with the engine start-stop button. You have another one to the right side, and more of that trim running across the dash. Has a really nice look to it again. Below that screen, we have some more radio controls. You have your power and volume on the left side. Tuning is on the right. You have a mute button, and you can turn the screen on and off if you'd like to do that. There's more AC controls in the middle. So if you aren't on the climate control buttons on the screen up top, you have some physical buttons, which is really nice to see. Obviously, you have heat and cool along with the fan speed in the center. You can shut it off as well. More recirc buttons on each side, same as what you saw on the screen up top. And then down below, we have a lot of different features here. You have the parallel parking assist, along with being able to turn on and off the parking sensors. You have the lane keeping assist, along with the engine start-stop. You have eco mode next to that, sport mode, and traction control. Just in front of the shifter, we have a nice hidden compartment here. If I just push on that button there, it will automatically open up. You can see 2 USBs in the back along with a 12 volt on the right side. Again, you have a good amount of storage space there. Looking at the leather wrap shifter now, we just pull the trigger on the front. We can go ahead and put it into reverse. Again, you'll see the backup camera light up, has a really crystal clear image to it. We can also bring this all the way down into drive and pop it over into manual mode. So if you're towing or going off-road or something like that, you have the option to use this, which is very helpful. You have 2 cup holders on the right side, nice ambient lighting running on the inside too, has a really nice touch to it. And then right in the back here is all the off-road controls. So you can see 4 low on the left side, a downhill assist control. You have a couple different driving modes using this rotary knob in the middle. You can see snow, sand, it's on auto right now, and then you have mud and rock on the right side. You can adjust the suspension as well, going up or down on the far right. Looking at the center console now, it's wrapped in leather. You can see there's more stitching on it as well. There's 2 different compartments that we can look at. If we pull on the top lever here, you'll see there's a little bit of storage space. And then if we pull on the bottom one, that'll open up a deeper compartment here with a 12 volt on one side. So you do have a good amount of room in there. And then as we make our way over to the glove box, you can see you have a normal amount of space. And then we'll take one last look at these black leather seats. They have a really nice design to them. And then up top in the center, you have your sunshade controls along with the sunroof, along with some other automatic buttons. You have the garage door buttons, and you can see the full sunroof here, even for the back passengers, which is nice to see. And then this does have a sunglass holder as well as some other assistance buttons on the rear view mirror. Moving on to the back seats now, if we take a look at the door panel, finished off just like up front with more of that wood and chrome trim piece. You have a little bit of storage space down in the lower section. And this is a 5-seater SUV, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, you have a net here for extra storage space. There's 2 air vents in the center, along with 2 USBs. You have a 3-prong outlet in the center, and these are heated rear seats, so you have 2 options for both seats in the back here. And then as far as legroom goes, you can see my feet are easily under the seat. I have about 3 or 4 inches in front of my knees. I have the front seat set at my height, which is 5'10", and then you can see I have about 3 or 4 inches above my head. So it's really roomy in the back seat, especially with the sunshade all the way open. Gives you plenty of lighting into the back seats here. If we just pull down the armrest, you can see you have 2 cup holders, and then we'll take a look out of the rear facing visibility with the glass there, the side glass. These seats also have a 60-40 split to them, and all you need to do to fold them down on the driver's side, I'm just gonna pull on this lever here, and you'll see the seat automatically fold down along with the headrest, and they do go completely flat, which is nice to see. Obviously, that gives you plenty of room into the back storage area there. And last up, we'll take a look at the rear storage space. I can just double tap the button on the key fob. With this open, you have about 36 cubic feet of storage space, and then when the seats are down, it goes to about 68 cubic feet. So definitely plenty of room for anything that you need. On the left side, you have a little storage cubby there. On the right side, you have a speaker along with a 12 volt and some other hooks here. This is a removable cover. If you have any larger items, you can remove it, or you can use it to cover up and hide your items. Underneath the floorboard here, you do have a full-size spare along with some storage space to the left side and the right side. And then you have some tie-down hooks on each side if you need to use those. And then on the driver's side, we can just push on this button and it will automatically close up. So unfortunately, in today's video, I do have to voice over the test driving portion. I had an issue with my microphone, but getting into driving the Grand Cherokee high altitude, I really felt like it was a super smooth ride out on the road. It was great for an SUV. I didn't have any complaints with it. It wasn't harsh or anything like that. It really absorbed all the bumps very well. So it was a super soft suspension, but it didn't feel like it floated around or anything like that. Being that it was a heavy SUV, I think it drove really great and it handled its weight well at the same time. So with that, I could see this being a good daily driver. I also liked how everything was laid out well on the inside. There weren't a whole lot of buttons, which was really nice. Pretty much everything was on the center screen, and as you saw earlier in the video, very easy to go through all of these settings at the same time. But it was nice to have physical AC buttons underneath the screen. I always like when vehicles have that. As far as the visibility goes for a larger SUV like this, you pretty much had a 360-degree view. Looking over your left and right shoulder, the pillars weren't that bulky, so it really gave you clear visibility and limited your blind spots very well. At the same time, you had the backup camera too, so maneuvering in tighter situations, you easily had visibility behind you, but overall, very easy to see around the vehicle while you're driving down the road. I did put the vehicle into sport mode to see how that compared with eco mode. I did not use the center shifter to shift gears at all, but it was easily able to get up to speed and it carried its weight well in that acceleration. Taking it out of sport mode is when you can put it into eco mode, so you can't use those at the same time, which is obvious because eco mode is when you want to save the most MPG. Moving on to the materials on the inside, everything was really nice. It was covered in leather. You had it on the steering wheel, on the door panels, on the dash, and you had the nice wood and chrome trim pieces everywhere. Just gave it a really nice premium feeling interior. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up my walk around review and test drive of the 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee High Altitude. Once again, huge shout out to Lake Norman, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing me with this SUV today. I will have all of their information again in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video.